All right, everybody, what's going on? Good evening. I know it's kind of late, but this video has a pretty small audience anyway, so I don't think people mind if this one's going to be a little bit late. Got some defensive players to take a look at for this upcoming draft. You guys know the drill. We got certain positions we look at here, and we basically just try to get a feel for who is standing out from week to week. And again, this is the last week we're going to do this because there's not going to be enough games going forward to talk about. So this is it. This is the last one. So enjoy it. A handful of people that actually watch these videos. But yeah, we're going to start with nose tackle. As we always do, we're going to move through a few more positions. Although, I got to be honest, my priorities in the draft are shifting a little bit away from some of this stuff. So, I mean, there's no point in changing direction now. It's already too late. But when the draft season actually gets here, I don't know exactly what I'm going to be prioritizing, to be honest. All right, guys, let's take a minute so I can tell you guys about Sleeper. I'll tell you a little secret as well. It's more than just a platform for fantasy leagues. This year, millions of users have enjoyed playing fantasy sports on Sleeper, but there's so much more to it. You have live stats, real-time updates of all stats. You have a news feed with lightning-fast updates on players and teams, and a real-time chat where you can engage with other users about plays, performances, games, all kinds of stuff during the sports season. So download Sleeper, experience it for yourself, and don't forget to use my promo code SBN to get up to a $100 match on your first deposit, and pair that with their new promo that will give you a free $20 entry, no deposit needed. So you can use both of those promos. Terms and conditions apply. See Sleeper's terms of use for details. Currently operational in over 25 states and going. So check out Sleeper today and use those promos. Okay, so nose tackle, a few usual suspects. Caden McDonald, feels like we have him here every week for Ohio State. If he is indeed a nose tackle, which remains to be determined, but 5 tackles. Michigan had 100 rushing yards, 4.2 yards a carry, which for Michigan is not very good, by the way. Michigan got a nice little rushing attack. So good game for Caden McDonald, 73.9 PFF. Might end up going a little too high to really be a nose tackle. Nose tackles don't really go super high in the draft. Like Kenneth Grant, I guess, was kind of an exception last year. But Caden McDonald might end up being a first rounder. Christian Miller, if he is a nose tackle, same kind of deal with him. Unclear. Georgia, 2 tackles, including a sack, 3 pressures. And Georgia shut down Georgia Tech's running game completely, 3 yards per carry. And 69 total rushing yards, which for Georgia Tech, they usually do a lot better than that. He did have 1 penalty and he did miss a tackle, but 66.7. I mean, if he is a nose tackle, he's also a very good prospect. And final guy, this guy we've been talking about for a while now, Dante Corleone. Cincinnati's been kind of getting run all over this year, but Corleone still doing his thing. 2 tackles and a pressure, 68.8 PFF. Cincinnati kind of got beat down in the running game, admittedly, 238 rushing yards allowed, but still like Corleone, although I will say there are several nose tackles that you would probably rank ahead of him in the draft right now. All right, edge rusher. Edge rushers, not a bad week this week for these guys. Although I feel like I'm wasting my time talking about these top 2 guys because they're going to go way too high. Ruben Bain is probably going to be a top 5 pick from Miami. 5 tackles for him, including a sack and a half. No pressures outside of that sack and a half, though, so kind of an atypical game for him. He was playing out of his mind earlier in the season, and in the second half of the year, he really did kind of pull back a little bit, but there's no questioning the dominance. 72.4 PFF. TJ Parker, really kind of pushing through as a clear first-round pick at this point for Clemson. 4 tackles, 3 sacks. No pressures other than the 3 sacks, but when you get 3 sacks, there's not much else to say. Had a fumble recovery, or excuse me, I'm sorry, I got mixed up here. I put the pressures in the wrong place. So he actually had 10 pressures. Sorry, I got mixed up there a little bit. But 80.2 PFF, so really good. One of his best games of the year. Zion Young of Missouri, we've talked about him a little bit this year. He had a tackle, and that's actually it. He also had a missed tackle, so you're like, what's he doing here? He had 7 pressures. So I think he had 3 QB hits. Sometimes you just don't finish it, and you're still playing good, man. Still like Zion Young a lot, 79.8. Romello Height, we keep talking about him. He's still a day 2 or day 3 guy at this point, but every week it feels like he's doing stuff. 2 tackles, including a sack and a half. 3 pressures, 76.2. And finally, Gabe Yakas of Illinois. Really like this guy. Could be like a late day 2 or early day 3 dude. 4 tackles, including 2 sacks, and an additional half a tackle for loss. 7 pressures, so constantly in the backfield, 71.8 PFF. So pretty good week for the edge rushers. Not elite, but good for sure. And that takes us to the linebackers. A position that honestly, I don't know how much Seattle really needs help right now. Maybe they need a tiny bit of depth, but the need is not there the way I thought it was going to be earlier. Sonny Styles, still really good, still a first-round pick. 6 tackles, including a tackle for loss and a pressure for OSU against Michigan. Allowed 1 catch for 5 yards, 73.4. Arvell Reese has been pretty quiet the last few games, and Sonny Styles has kind of stepped up. I know Reese is probably protecting himself a little bit because he's very obviously going to be a really, really high pick in this draft, but Sonny Styles kind of winning me over here. Deontay Lawson of Alabama, 7 tackles, including 1 for a loss, 2 pressures. Did miss a tackle, but didn't allow anything in coverage. 1 target, no catches, 69.1. Alabama gets the Iron Bowl win in that game, of course, and looks like they are poised to be a playoff team pretty much no matter what. Karian York of A&M, one of the best linebackers in the league this week. 11 tackles, including 1 for a loss. 2 quarterback pressures, allowed 3 catches, but only 14 yards. Unfortunately, A&M did get upset in that Texas game, but they're still in good shape, and I don't think it takes anything away from the game York played, 75 PFF. Josiah Trotter of Missouri, kind of a late bloomer here. 10 tackles for Missouri, 2 for a loss, including a sack. 3 pressures, so he was doing a lot of work as a pass rusher. Did allow 3 catches and 40 yards on 5 targets, which isn't great, but when you're getting this kind of production in the backfield, I think that you overlook that a little bit. 63.9. And finally, Harold Perkins Jr. Remember this guy. Remember this guy's name. I know that he's not exactly the most high-profile linebacker in the world right now, and I know he's not necessarily going to get drafted really high right now, but he could be like your developmental Micah Parsons type, LSU. 6 tackles, including half a tackle for loss. He had a pick that he took back 44 yards, so, I mean, that's a big play right there. Only had the 1 pressure, did miss a tackle, allowed 3 catches for 30 yards, but 6 targets. I'm not upset about 5 yards a target. 61.3 PFF, so it wasn't amazing, but some nice plays made here. And the Harold Perkins thing is going to be really interesting, how teams view him this offseason. Okay, we're going to take things home with cornerback here. I think this is a position that I still believe is going to be a priority for Seattle this offseason. Probably losing Woolen, could lose Job. Let's start with Mansour Delane of LSU. We've talked about him so much this year, but he took it home kind of the way he's been doing it all year. Didn't allow any catches, got targeted once, 5 tackles, batted down a pass, 70.3. So you look at his coverage numbers this year, they are out of this world. Teams just cannot target this guy. You target him, you don't do anything. He barely allows anything. So probably cornerback 1 in the draft at this point. Davison Igbinosun of Ohio State. There were some issues in his game, mostly the 2 penalties he picked up, which really killed his PFF grade, but 5 tackles, had a pick, and only allowed 1 catch on 3 targets for 6 yards. I'm going to overlook a couple of penalties a little bit when you're putting up cover numbers like that, because the penalties can be kind of fluky, but if you're holding up in coverage across dozens of snaps in a game, I'm going to notice. And he also had 1 missed tackle, 51.5 PFF, mostly because of the penalties. D'Angelo Ponce doing what he does for Indiana. No catches allowed, even though he got targeted 5 times, which, I mean, that has been kind of something that I picked up on a lot this year. A lot of these guys are having these games where you just cannot touch them. 1 pass broken up, 2 tackles. I know it doesn't seem like an amazing game, but when you get targeted 5 times in a game and you allow 0 catches, and I know the opponent doesn't really have a good passing attack, but I mean, that stands out to me. 75.3. Kelly Jones of Mississippi State, excuse me. Late bloomer here. Haven't talked about him yet this year. 3 tackles, no catches allowed, only 1 target, and he played the whole game. He played over 40 coverage snaps, I think. 71.8, stand out. And final guy, I think we've talked about him before, but Hezekiah Masses, a California corner, and California scored that nice upset on SMU, by the way. Masses was a part of that. He had only 1 tackle and 1 pass breakup, but 0 catches allowed on 2 targets, and he's playing dozens of coverage snaps in this game. So it's meaningful. He did have a penalty, but 78.6 PFF, really good. And yeah, that's how we go home. That's how we take us home here. So that's my final look at the top defensive players that are eligible for the 2026 draft last week. And we'll see what happens going forward, but we have most of the information now. So now we just need to form our big boards, put together our opinions, and go from there. Okay. See you guys later. Go Hawks. Everybody have a good night. I know it's late. I'm going to be on Twitch. Playing some Banjo-Kazooie. Come check it out, and I'll see you soon.